Bro. Benjamin, how we doing, babe?
John, you're a goddamn mess. Look at you.
What the hell is that? I'm in my brother's childhood. Yo, you want to see a mess? So since quarantine started, we've been trying to Zoom in all different places, and it keeps fucking up. So I'm trying to change up where I do it. Look at this goddamn room. It's my brother's childhood bedroom. The whole wall is Fenway.
Oh, I love this. By the way, I'm a Yankees fan. I think that's amazing. That's incredible.
Ben, your hair is it's unbelievable. It's lopsided.
It is 8:40 in the morning here, my man.
Shit.
My man, it is 8:40 in the morning, and I have work now, so I'm eating breakfast while doing this. I'm trying
Let's do it. I love it.
Anything with this, but I've learned that if I don't put anything in it, it's so long it can go in my mouth, and so I have to keep going.
You got a great head of hair, dude.
How are you guys doing through the pandemic and everything?
Wait, is your name John is a mess?
Very clever.
It's not inaccurate. I guess that's how I'm doing through the pandemic.
Yeah.
I like it because it's there's so many things I wondered what I'd look like if I just let it happen, like this beard, for instance. And there's no reason not to give it a try. Let's see what I look like with long hair. Let's see what I look like with fucking stringy facial hair. Let's experiment a little bit.
It looks good. I think you're finding. I think you'll shave the beard in the end, but I think you'll keep your hair long.
Ben, I assure you, I will shave the beard. That's a promise to you.
Yo, so last time we talked, we were focusing on Sonic, but we mentioned Middleditch and Schwartz.
Yes, and I'm happy
Sonic,
we did.
by the way, massive hit as well.
I know you are on a hot streak, my friend.
So much stuff has happened since the last time we talked. It's kind of crazy. Well, first, let it be known how this conversation started. Literally, Kevin had called me out that he wanted to, or I guess Kevin, for both of you guys, Kevin had called me out saying hey, in one of our previous things, you said that A, you talk after I watch the specials, you talk to us about it, and B, you'd give us tickets.
It would also, I'm interested to see, neither one of you guys have ever been to an improv show?
No.
I wonder if you watch the specials first, that would be amazing if you've never seen it before, because the people who...
blank slate, kind of what the reaction would be.
So few people have seen our specials because, it's just 3 people in a production office, but it would be great to see if you've never seen it before, what you think it is, if it's interesting, and I feel like you guys would give me normal... I would love to ask you after you see them.
I would gladly be your
So maybe don't see a show until you see those, and then I'll take you to a show afterwards.
That sounds...
Okay,
it's a date, brother.
So, and then I said, let's do it. And within, 5 human being minutes, not exaggerating. I'm talking about 5 real, all I had was time to get my cereal and get to my computer. And we are
fast.
And all I wrote is a bit was TikTok. And then a second later, Kevin sends me his Zoom link.
We don't lose those opportunities, man. If somebody like you says let's podcast, we fucking do it, all right?
Let's call it what it was. Let's address how this happened. It was social media ass kissing. That's really what got us here.
If you ever think that just blatant pandering to people doesn't work, you are wrong. Because this is
if you are nice to people, they will respond. Just be
I don't even know.
Mean to businesses. That's how Twitter works. Okay. That's how you get the results you want.
I really don't even know how to do this without coming across as just ridiculous ass kissing, but the specials are so fucking funny. And for a guy like me who I never knew anything about improv, so I never knew how you do it and how you could do it for an hour. And if you're new to it, it's genuinely one of the most impressive things you'll ever see.
You're the best. There's a review that John, and you watched them or no?
Oh yeah.
It would be so funny if John's haven't
even seen it.
I just heard great things though.
John was so excited before we left about seeing him. But I remember you wrote this article. What would you call it, an article?
Blog.
Blog. Okay.
Article's a little too fancy.
Okay, a blog post, and I didn't know that you were going to watch whatever, and it was so nice, and so I copy and pasted a piece of it and was going to write that and then say read the rest of the article, and it ended with whatever you think could blow it out your ass or something. It was such our first review ever that says blah, blah, blah. And then anytime I retweet something, it always looks so narcissistic. So if I take a quote from it, it looks even more egotistical. So
I got you.
I'm having such trouble, because I want everybody to, the only way we get more is if people see them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to retweet anybody that loves it. to like get other people to do it. But I literally, the first version of that tweet just had like the first review ever that says like, this thing will whatever, blow it at your ass or whatever.
I mean, I'm trying to like, I think that our audience probably wouldn't initially say that improv is for them. And I'm like,
your review is great.
Please don't let that stop you. At least give it a shot because it's something you've never seen before, probably.
Your blog post talking about, because I think that's the thing, the biggest thing we're fighting against is that people know what stand-up is, people know what sketch is, people have no idea, people know whose line is it anyway is. People have no idea when two people are coming on stage for an hour and just going to make up a show. They're a little bit like, what the hell is this? And so you explaining that to maybe an audience that has only seen stand-up and never seen anything is great. It's huge. That's what we're trying to get.
I watched it. I had no idea, even going into it and having watched the trailer, and obviously there are 3 specials. And in the trailer, you talk to all 3, I believe, or at least 2 of the stories you'll end up using. You talk to the photographer from NYU or from 30 Rock, and then you talk to the wedding people. I don't know if you talk to the law school student, but anyway, I thought you were gonna be like regularly doing new stories. I didn't know what long form. I barely knew what improv was. I had no idea what long form improv was. I was stunned.
It's crazy. It's like 58 minutes long. It's nuts. It's insane.
You guys are the best. I'm so happy we did this.
And so, did I hear correctly that you did 4 total?
Yes, the pair.
That was my biggest question.
The sneakers that were not shown were the 3 black cements.
Dude, the sneaker game is on point.
It's so funny because I know very little about fashion, but I used to work at Athlete's Foot, so I like sneakers a lot.
So did my babysitter. You know her?
Say it again.
My babysitter owned an Athlete's Foot. She owned a franchise.
Which one?
It's in Massachusetts, in Fall River. Her name was Manuela. She was actually cool. She was one of my very few good babysitters.
Oh my God! Do you remember all your babysitters?
Oh yeah.
Oh, buddy, if you know John's babysitter history, they are memorable. Okay.
Really?
Oh yeah. In not the best ways. Pretty sure John was molested by his babysitter.
Oh God, John, please.
She had me watch porn. It wasn't like it.
Is that true?
Yeah. It was.
This is not for me to talk about. This is a whole.
We'll cut this.
This is a dark line.
Anyway, back to the show. Because my question was,
there are different versions of improv. So what you're saying, that long form improv, there are versions. There's a show called Ask Cat, which is great, and usually like the veterans, like the old school amazing improvisers. That's the show that me coming up when I was an intern at UCB. That's one that I wished one day I could perform in. Like Amy Poehler's in that, Matt Besser, Matt Walsh, Rachel Dratch, Tina Fey, they all do that show. And in that show, they get exactly what you said. They get a story, and then we do like 6 scenes, and then they ask for another story from a monologist, and then they do 6 scenes, and we take a break. So we do, and then we get 4 stories over the course of 45 minutes or an hour, and then and that's kind of like what it is. So you're right, there is a version of that, but the version that we love is that telling one through line, one narrative. We started doing that, which other people have done, but that's the one that we really like the most because I think for me writing movies quite a bit, and Thomas being really good at writing that, we could kind of hold up the story structure for most of the shows. Sometimes we call them bumpy landings where we're trying to call back things from the past, and it's just like, hey, what? But sometimes it like him saying that there's an episode where he says he's a ghost just to fuck with me. And then, so what I do as an improviser is I put that here, and anything in improv is not a mistake. Whatever happens is supposed to happen in the show. And so I'm like, anywhere I can think to put this ghost that connects it, and hopefully wait long enough where the audience forgot that moment. And so when we say it, the audience is like, what I mean?
Those moments when the ghost comes out, when you guys remember that Nigel was there for like a half hour.
Thomas. That was amazing. Yeah. I was
sitting there like, what about Nigel?
See, that's the other thing. The other thing is that the story is being made up at the same time. We're doing it at the same time as the audience is understanding it.
Right.
So we're all on the same page. There's not anything that is, you know what I mean? We're all on the same page. So exactly that happened. But we were going through the things before that and said all the characters, and we didn't remember. And the best part about that, it was amazing that Thomas remembered it, but it was even more amazing that was the guy that explained how to get out of the whole situation. Like the person you forgot. That was an incredible move by Thomas. It's one thing to remind everybody that was here, that's a laugh, but it's a fun story plot thing that you don't know how to get out of this. You should have talked to me. I was here the whole time. Like I love that.
I got a text from another guy at Barstool. He said he watched it after I wrote about it. And he said the main thing that he didn't think that you guys would like break the fourth wall and like acknowledge how silly it was. He thought it was kind of like highbrow, comedy, the art, the craft. And that it wasn't just like, this is fucking ridiculous, right, guys? So
Like,
once he knew it was like that, he was totally on board.
Like,
Oh,
one of my
nice.
favorite parts is when you guys are remembering Marnie's name. And you
Yes.
like no, like, and you're like, I think it's your sister's actual name is Marnie.
Yes, and she was in the audience. Like in real life, my sister was in the audience. And so I don't know if Thomas remembered that, or like we were in the scene. So when I said, oh, that's my sister's name, and then he was about to say, what? And I was like, don't. It would just take explaining that would just veer us off way too much. We don't have enough time. This is being filmed. So it's like keeping us track. There are other things also where Thomas, like if you look at the reaction of, I don't know if you saw all three, but the third or the second one, there's an alien. I play an alien. And it's calling back that this woman said this city is known for having an alien in it. But Thomas did not remember that part of the interview.
Yes.
He told me when we were editing, not even after the show. I mean, we were editing because we have 9 cameras on each scene. So we had to figure out which cameras to put and like what plays the scene the best. And he goes like, yeah, man, when you did that move, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, what are you talking about? She said alien. He goes, oh my God, really? He goes, I thought you were just doing it to fuck with me. I go, no, I was calling back what she was saying.
You could see it because the way he pretended to open the door and he closed it and was like, I really don't think we want to introduce this to the storyline.
That was all his reaction of being like, what the fuck are you doing is 100% real. Which we do that to each other in the shows all the time. But it was so funny to me that, I mean, like it had to be a month afterwards. We're editing it. And he's like, yeah. I was like, why the hell did you do that? And I was like, are you serious? He's like, oh my God, that's amazing. It was great.